Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a reading vlog for you guys. I'm going to be reading 3 books in this video, as well as watching I'm watching 2 shows and 1 movie. This video I'm going to be reading books that have been adapted into shows or movies. Actually all of these books I feel like are fairly popular, and I'm more excited for some more than others, but I'm going to show you what the books are that we're going to be reading in this video. One of them is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This one has a show. This will be the first book that I'm reading because it's on Apple TV, and I personally do not have Apple TV, so I did what anyone would do, and I got a free trial for 30 days. So this has to be finished before that trial ends, which I don't think I will have any trouble, and I'm going to be watching the first season and giving my thoughts on it, because this is a show, and I think it only has 1 season, so I will watch that and read this and tell you guys how I feel. Tell you guys which ones I like more. So let me read you what this one is about. It says, "Are you happy with your life?" Those are the last words Jason Destin heard before the mask abductor knocks him unconscious, before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits, before a man Jason's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back, my friend." In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife, his son was never born, and Jason is not an ordinary college physics professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. Is it this life or the other that's the dream? And even if the home he remembers is real, how can Jason possibly make it back to the family he loves? The answers lie in a journey more wondrous and horrifying than anything he could have imagined, the one that will force him to confront the darkest parts of himself even as he battles a terrifying, seemingly unbeatable foe. I'm very excited to read this. Personally, I've heard a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, I've heard a good amount of people talk about this and really like this and say good things about it. Fun fact, I am 51 pages into this, and so far it's not that I'm not liking it. The chapters are really long and that just makes me tired, and I'm sick, so a lot of things are making me tired currently, but I think I'm gonna listen to it and try and do something that is not as mentally taxing as like actually looking at the words and reading it. So yeah, this, and then I will start reading, or not reading, but watching the show and tell you guys which ones I prefer. So that's the first book of this video. The second book, or another book in this video, is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is the other show, and this, unbeknownst to me, I did not know that this show had like 9 seasons. I was not aware, but it does. It has a lot of seasons. I'm going to watch season 1. I'm gonna give it season 1 if I continue to watch it afterwards, then I continue to watch it, but it will, like, I'm gonna give it the first season, and then depending on that I'll tell you if I'm gonna continue watching it or not. But I will read this book. I've had this book for a long time. It's a classic, we all know, The Handmaid's Tale. We've all heard of it at least. It says, "Offered as a handmaid in the Republic of Gilead, she may leave the home of the commander and his wife once a day to walk to food markets whose signs are not pictures instead of words, because women are no longer allowed to read. She must lie on her back once a month and pray that the commander makes her pregnant, because in age of declining births, Offered and other handmaids are valued only if their ovaries are viable. Offered can remember the years before when she lived and made love with her husband Luke, when she played with and protected her daughter, when she had a job, money of her own, and access to knowledge. But all of that is gone now. Funny, unexpected, horrifying, and altogether convincing, The Handmaid's Tale is at once scathing, satire, dire warning, and tour de force." I don't know why. I think I'm getting this confused with a different book, but I just thought that she was like a maid. Like an actual maid in like a hotel or something. That's obviously not this. So there's this. Like I said, I'm gonna read this, then I'm gonna watch the show, then I'll tell you my thoughts. I'll tell you my thoughts after I read this, then I'll watch the show, then I'll tell you my thoughts on that, then I'll say which one I like better, because it's a competition always. And now one of the other books, probably the last book because I want to save the best for last, is No Exit by Taylor Adams. Y'all know I gave The Last Word 5 stars. I sure did. So I have very, very high hopes for this book, and I'm gonna save it for last. But this is a movie. I do love me a good movie, guys. I love a movie. But let me tell you what this is about. I know some of y'all, I know a lot of people, I also like to go into thriller books blind, but I know some of y'all is not gonna want to know the like blurb, so y'all can skip it. I won't be upset. Y'all can do that. But I'm gonna read it for the people who do want to know. It says, on her way to Utah seeing her dying mother, college student Darby Thorne gets caught in a fierce blizzard in the Colorado Rockies. With the roads impassable, she's forced to wait out the storm at a remote highway rest stop with no cell phone reception. Inside are some vending machines, a coffee maker, and 4 complete strangers. Desperate to find a signal to call home, the exhausted young art student goes back out into the storm and makes a horrifying discovery. In the back of the van, parked next to her car, is a little girl locked in an animal crate. Who is the child? Why has she been taken? And how can Darby save her? There is no way to call for help and no way out. One of her fellow travelers is a kidnapper, but which one? Trapped in an increasingly dangerous situation on the edge of civilization, with a child's life and her own on the line, Darby must find a way to break the girl out of the van and escape. But who can she trust? With an exquisitely controlled pacing, Taylor Adams diabolically ratchets up the tension with every page, full of terrifying blind twists and hairpin turns as treacherous as a slick, snow-covered mountain road. This brilliant thriller will have you on the edge of your seat and leave you breathless. I think so, because The Last Word did that to me. I will tell you, I read The Last Word and I was like actually like spooked. Like I was actually a little scared, just a little bit, just a little. So I expect nothing less. I expect to be terrified. I expect to only want to read this in the daylight, and I expect the movie to scare me, but we shall see. Those are the 3 books that I plan on reading in this video, and the 3 movies and shows that I plan to watch in this video. So yeah, I will continue Dark Matter, and I will get back to you guys at some point. Who knows when? Some point. I'll see you when I see you. Updates. Last time I talked to you guys, I think I was on chapter 4, maybe 5, maybe. I don't remember. As of right now, I'm almost finished. I'm on chapter 11, page 216 out of out of 340. So I have like 120 pages left. My thoughts, because I am conflicted. This isn't bad. It's interesting, but at the same time, the main character doesn't know what's going on, so I don't know what's going on, so I'm also very confused. And what's happening is very repetitive in a way, because I can't say that. They're going on a journey, and it's very like repetitive. The same thing happens. Like they go here, something happens, they leave, they wait. They go here, something happens, they leave, they wait. And I think we're kind of starting to get to the climax of the story, which is great, but I am a little bored, I guess I could say, because it's interesting but not interesting enough for me to like really, for it to grab my attention, which is why I've had to listen to it this entire time, because for some reason when I actually read this physically, I can't sit and read it and have it keep my attention. Like I sit and read and my eyes go somewhere else. Like I'll go on my phone or I'll go on my laptop instead of reading. So I've had to listen to it so that I could do other things while listening to it, because that's the only way this is keeping my attention. So there's that. I'm gonna continue reading. I have like 7 chapters left. I think there's 18 chapters in this book, so I have like 7 chapters left, and I have an hour and a half left on the audiobook, so I'm just gonna listen to that now, and then I will get back to you guys with my final thoughts.
Across the ocean for you, dive into the deepest sea. My soul is sold out for you. I give you everything that you need. Give me just one chance. Baby, take my hand. My heart's in motion for you. Across the ocean. Yeah. Yeah, I heard him say that all good things fade away, but I'm fighting here to make sure that's not true. No, and I know it's hard and we've lost in many ways, but I ain't giving up. Our love will never lose. I'd cross the ocean for you. I dive into the deepest sea. My soul is sold out for you. I give it everything that you need. Oh, and give me just one chance. Baby, take.
I have a book review and an update for you because I surely did finish a book. I finished it yesterday. Yes, I finished it yesterday. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. How do I feel about this book? I did enjoy this. It was just repetitive at times when they were going on their journey. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. When they were going on their little journeys, it was a bit repetitive. And so that, oh, you'll see this. It's because I was listening to it, but I promise I did finish it, guys. I promise I did. But yeah, like it was just a bit repetitive at those moments, but the ending, I really loved the ending. I thought the ending was so cute. It just wrapped it all up. Oh, it really just made my heart warm. Like literally as I listened to the end of the book, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I was like, that's so cute. I did like it. I think I'm gonna give this a 3.75 or a 4. I'm still kind of trying to figure out where I'm heading with this, but it's gonna be between there. I did enjoy it. It was just repetitive. I do love a little sci-fi. I've noticed I do like sci-fi, so this did that for me. And it was like, this is considered to be a sci-fi thriller. I wasn't scared, or like, I wouldn't consider it a thriller personally. I think it was very much a sci-fi, and I enjoyed that. It was very, like, a very sciencey talk. Like, you know how some sci-fi books aren't like super heavy with the science and the smart people stuff? No, this is. It talks about a lot of science. I like science. I do. I'm a science major, so I do enjoy talks of science. So this book was really a me-coded book. So yeah, but now I'm going to watch the show and see which one I prefer. Do I prefer the book or do I prefer the show? I don't know. Now for my little reading update. I started The Handmaid's Tale yesterday. Yeah, I've been flying through this. I didn't expect to like this book as much as I have liked it. I've also been listening to this because I was listening to it at work and just listening to it as I do other things, but oh my goodness, I was not expecting to like this book as much as I am liking it. It's crazy because this is a very old book. This is also a dystopian. I've noticed I really like a dystopian book. Like Ready Player One is one of my favorite books now, and that is for sure a dystopian book. And like this one's a dystopian book, and I'm eating it all the way up. I am, and I was not expecting to. This was a book that I was very nervous going into because I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be for me. I don't know if it's gonna take me a long time to read this. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. This is just, I don't know, it's a breath of fresh air to be able to like read a book this quickly and like be fully immersed in it and wanting to pick it up and read it, you know? So I'm gonna go finish this today because I have like, technically I have 5 hours left in the audiobook, but I listened to it on 2 times speed, so really it's like 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna finish that, and this makes me so excited to watch the show. this show I think has like 6 seasons. We're not watching all of them in this video. We're not doing that. What I will do is watch the first season, but based on how much I'm liking this book, I think that I am gonna end up watching the entire show. But just in this video, I'm gonna watch the first season and tell you guys how I feel about that. But yeah, I love this. I do. So in this book, they never say what the year is, but I do know it's post like 2000s. I do know it's that. A lot of people say that this book was written in 1984. It was written 40 years ago. So people are saying that they think that this book takes place in 2005. That's the year I was born. The best year for a book to take place. Come on. They say that it takes place in 2005. That's what people speculate. But we do not get any confirmation on that. But it does make sense because they're talking about in here like, oh, like I used to wear like pants, and then now they're talking about how they are now. And I'm like, well, it makes sense for it to be after the 2000s. In my opinion, it could have taken place in like the 1980s. Women were wearing pants in the 1980s. They were, but based on like the things that they say in this book, it makes sense for it to be based after the 2000s have already started. Oh my gosh, it's so good. The drama in this book. There's a lot of drama because it's literally a book that is focused on women. It's focused on women and them making babies and them not being able to really like, they're essentially slaves, essentially, in this like, where they are. They're essentially slaves. They are only used for babies. And with that comes, there's a lot of drama within like, because they're not able to express the feelings that they are having, but also like people are using them, and also they can't do anything that they used to do. Oh my goodness, so good. So I'm gonna go finish this right now in color because that's what I want to do, and then I will get back to you guys because this will be getting finished today. It surely will. I just finished, literally just finished. It's been like an hour, I want to say an hour, 2 hours. Safe to say I'm a little confused. First of all, it was really good, but I do need to warn, the farther you get into this book, the more trigger warnings that pop up. So if you are planning on reading this, check your trigger warnings. But I'm a little confused at the way this ended. I think it's one of those books that I'm gonna have to, you know how you watch a movie over and over again and you find something new each time? I think that's gonna be this type of book for me. I'm gonna like need to reread this to like really fully understand what the heck just happened. Because whoa, I'm very confused. But there's a second one of this, isn't there? Let me do my research. Okay, I just did some research. There is another one called The Testaments, which came out in 2019. That is quite a long time to make a sequel. But I'm not complaining because I'm for sure gonna get that and for sure gonna read that because I need to know. And it says it takes place 15 years after, and it's set in Canada. So I'm intrigued, especially with how this ended. Like I need some more. I need some more. I truly do. So oh my goodness, guys. I don't think this is a 5-star. Did I read this in a day? Basically. But there was just some things that like rub me the wrong way. One thing I will say, there's one trope. It's a trope, but it's not like, can I really call it a trope in a book that's not a romance book? I don't know. There's something in here that me personally, I don't agree with, so I didn't really like it. And she did it over and over again. Wasn't a fan. But other than that, like, I ate this book up. I truly did. And I'm so excited to watch the show. And I'm about to buy the second book, like, right now. My mother would not be proud, but Mom, a girl's gotta do what she has to do. And I have to buy the second book. So yeah, I would totally recommend this. I think I'm gonna give it like a 4.5. I think that's where I'm settling right now. It may change by the end of this video, but for right now, 4.5. Yeah. So that is the second book done, and I got it done on the last day of October. I'm for sure counting this in my October wrap up. This is even counted as an October book. So now we are on to our very last book of the video. No Exit by Taylor Adams. I don't think you guys understand how excited I am to read this book. I don't think you understand, y'all. Like, I don't think you understand. I rated The Last Word 5 stars. Surely did. So when I tell you I'm so excited to read this, oh my gosh, I might just cry. I'm not going to. That's a bit dramatic. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to read this book. Guys, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna read you the back, not like the actual like synopsis. That's a bit much. We're not gonna tell you that much detail. 13 hours, 4 strangers, 1 missing child, no exit. She knows her odds, she'll fight anyway. Like, do you really need anything else to have you read this book? No, you don't. So, I have very, very high hopes for this book. And this book is the only one that has a movie. So it's not gonna take me multiple days to finish the adaptation. But I'm so excited. But this will definitely be getting read in the daylight. It will. I have my reasons. Usually I could read it like in the dark. I could read a thriller book in the dark and be fine. With Taylor Adams, no, I can't, because I definitely had some dreams about The Last Word. Don't want to relive that. So I will be starting this tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm gonna go to sleep now because it is past my bedtime. It is past my bedtime, and I will see you guys in the morning. Y'all saw I started No Exit. I'm like 30% of the way through this, and I'm liking The Last Word better. This one is just not hooking me like his other book did. But what I have heard was that this was published before The Last Word, and The Last Word was kind of like his response to the backlash that he got for this book, which is a little scary, not gonna lie. I'm liking it, but like I literally just got to I think I'm on page 113, and we just got the first plot twist, and I feel like that's a little crazy. But I mean, for the most part, I'm enjoying it. It's just slow, and it's not grasping my attention. Like, when I'm reading this, I'm not solely focused on the book. I'm like, what am I gonna do after? That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, but I'm gonna continue to read this. This is the last book of the video. This was my most anticipated one out of the video, so hopefully it gets a little better, but I mean, we'll see.
I see that smile in those beautiful brown eyes, girl. I hear the dark. Yeah, you make it right, yeah, girl. Everything in my life, you changed my story, yeah. You taken me so far. I'd cross the ocean for you. I'd dive into the deepest sea. My soul is sold out for you. I'd give you everything that you need. You give me just one chance. Baby, take my hand. My heart's in motion for you. I'd cross the ocean for you. Yeah, I heard him say that all good things fade away, but I'm fighting here to make sure that's not true.
We're here for a final little wrap up. I have watched all the movies and shows, I've read all the books, and now it's time for me to give you my final updates. I had a great time. Filming this video. I also want to point out, which I just realized, because I'm adding this right before I post this video, in fact, and I just realized that I did not film me reading The Handmaid's Tale like at all. And I swear I had some clips. Guess not, because I can't find them. But you guys heard what I said about it, so all is good. But I just realized that. So you guys won't see me read that. It's fine. You guys will be okay. But the 3 books that I read this video, let's talk about them. First book I read was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Y'all heard how I felt about this. It was a bit repetitive. It was good though. I like the science aspects of it. Like it was good. Just a bit repetitive, and I got a little bored at times. But I would recommend this to people, and I'm glad I read it. I'm gonna give this a 4-star, just because it just wasn't giving me the 5-star feels. But I did enjoy my time reading this book. This show, there was, I think, 9 episodes of the first season. There is only 1 season, and I am not sure if it's getting renewed for season 2. I watched the next season. Personally, I do enjoy the book more than I enjoyed the show. I did. But the show wasn't bad. I'd continue watching it. There were just things that changed in the show that I didn't think needed to be changed, and also were quite different from the book, which is why, I mean, I didn't like it as much, but I'd watch the next season. So there's that. Next, we read The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I originally said this was a 4.5. I'm changing it. This is a 5 because ever since I've read this book, I haven't stopped thinking about this book. I still think about this book daily. So this book is a 5-star. It truly is. The show, however, I feel like the first season really is this book. And I was wondering, because there is 5 seasons to the show, and I'm like, how did they fit this short book into 5 seasons? They did not. After season 1, they don't really follow the plot of the story, because there's no more plot to follow. So there's that. They didn't change much in the show. All the key points were there. The characters were there. One thing I will say, that there was little details that they changed, the characters that they've added. That was fine. Nothing really bothered me about that. So I would watch the show. It adds more, like there's definitely a lot more detail in the show, because with this book it is so short, so you're not getting as much. So yeah, but I would recommend reading this first, because if you watch the show first, you're probably not gonna like this as much. But because I read this first, I did enjoy this a lot, as we all know. And lastly, No Exit by Taylor Adams. This book I didn't even give you guys a recap on because I didn't talk to you guys after I finished this book. I did finish this book, and I think I'm going to give it, I don't know, is it a 4? Is it even a 4? I don't know, because I don't know, it didn't spook me, it didn't scare me. I wasn't really thrilled at all. There were like small parts, and you're gonna see, like you saw it in like a clip where I was like reading, that I definitely did like get surprised at some parts, but not as much as The Last Word. And I think that's my problem, is that I'm comparing it to The Last Word, and it's just not as good. I don't know what to say. It's just not as good as The Last Word, and it was very disappointing because this is the one that I thought I was gonna like the most, and it turns out that I liked this one the least out of all of the books that I read in this video, which is unfortunate. There were a lot of things in this book that I think that just didn't need to be added. Like there were like misogynistic jokes and racist jokes, and I'm just like, what does this add to the story? Like, why did this need to be in this book? It didn't add to the story at all. He just put it in there to put it in there, and it just didn't make any sense. So there was that. The ending was very anticlimactic in my opinion. It was very anticlimactic, and yeah, the movie was even worse in my opinion. I liked the movie even less because so many things were changed in the movie. The Darby, her appearance changed in the movie, where they were changed in the movie. It was a lot of, like how the little girl was being like held changed in the movie. Like everything changed in the movie, and not in a good way, because like if you're changing things, at least make the changes good. And with this, like they changed things and it wasn't good. So I did not enjoy that. The ending, I was expecting it to at least be the same ending that was in the book. It wasn't. It wasn't my cup of tea. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a 3.5, 3.75. It just wasn't that good to me. So that's the recap of this video. We have a 5-star, a 4-star, and a 3.5 star. But honestly, I would not like tell you guys not to read these books. They were all good in their own ways. Some were better than others, as we know, but none of them were horrible. Like I wouldn't tell you guys like don't read them, because like they weren't that bad. But yeah, so that is the end of this video. If you guys have watched any of these shows or movies or read any of these books, tell me your opinions on them. And yeah, if this is your first time seeing me, hello, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.